It's time for the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast. Each week, Trading Stocks Made Easy demystifies stock trading and investing so you can profit big. And now, here's the host of Trading Stocks Made Easy, the wealthy investor, Tyrone Jackson.
Well, hello there. You're back again. Do you know how happy that makes me? Hey, everybody. It's Tyrone Jackson, the wealthy investor, and welcome back to another episode of Trading Stocks Made Easy. Now, today, I'm going to take you one of two places based on your formal education. I'm either going to take you back to the 6th grade, or in this episode, I'm going to take you to business school. So you're going to have to decide for yourself. Usually, for most people, it's going to be some combination of both, because today, we're going to understand the concept of ROI, return on investments. So, you've heard me say in other episodes of the show that America is obsessed with training the working class. The reason that you're not richer in your life is in part due to the education that you got between grades 1 through 12. Here in America, we train people to work for other people because we train the working class. When you go to grad school, like Columbia or Princeton or Georgetown, guess what? Even though you're getting a master's degree, they're still training you to do what? Work for other people, but at a higher level. That leaves one choice, me, to teach you about principles of wealth so you can have a shift in your mindset and begin trading and investing in the stock market just like the really rich do. All right, so let's go through this idea of starting a business. So let's say, and I'll keep it really simple here, let's say you and I, we text each other, we have a few phone calls, our personalities gel, and we say, we're going to start a business together. And we decide to do something that's very popular. And for ease and simplicity, you and I decide to start a pizza shop. Why? Because pizza is a food that can be formal, it can be fun, it can be for parties, you cater, and we figure, you know what? The pizza business is not that hard. So what are we going to need? Well, the first thing that you and I are going to need is a space, a location where we can set up ovens, workstations, and get all our supplies in, right? So we're going to have to sign a lease, and then we're going to have to remodel or design that space and move in all of our equipment. So let's say hypothetically our rent at our new fancy pizza shop, which does include some seating, by the way. Let's say our rent is $10,000. Then it's going to cost us another $50,000 to get the high-end ovens, the table, the lighting, the paint, our signs made. That means we are in this whole business investment for initial $50,000, and we're going to have to be around for at least 3 months. So, rent is another $30,000. We're at $80,000 just to start the business. Now, we do want to have some money for publicizing the business, whether we're going to run ads on Google or we're going to have posters in our local town, whatever it is we're going to do. So you figure we're out $100,000 before we've cut the first slice or made the first pizza. So everything that we're doing from this point forward is to get a return on our $100,000 investment. And that's how business really goes. You're always putting up money to make money. Now, let's say we've gone to dental school and now we've decided we're going to open up a dental practice. Well, we still have to start off with the same startup cost. First of all, we need a space. Second of all, we need all the high-end dental equipment, and we're going to have to pay some staff to run them through how we're going to run this business before we even open our doors. And then, of course, there's marketing costs. So can we set up our dental practice for $100,000? Well, let's make it a very simple dental practice and say, yes, we're going to do it. We're out of our pockets $100,000. Anything that we do is to make money on the $100,000. Now, in the dental business, there are a lot of ways for people to find you. You can take certain types of insurance, there's word of mouth. You can partner with somebody who has an established practice and let their practice bleed over into yours and split the revenue. There are a lot of ways in which you can do it, but the bottom line is we're out $100,000. All right. So why do people start businesses in the first place? To get a return on the capital that they put up investing in the business. Also, to have financial freedom and also to be their own boss, to not have to listen to anybody else, and to be able to run your business on your terms, on your hours of operations, as you see fit. But the bottom line from a financial point of view is to get that rate of return. So let's say January, February, we open up our dental practice and or our pizza shop, and we start earning $10,000 a month in revenue in month 3 or 4. Well, since we're out $100,000, we have to make the $100,000 back first before we truly see profit. So it may take us 10 months of revenue at $10,000 a month before we get our initial $100,000 back. Does that make sense? Great. Now, if you can just understand that very simplistic illustration, now you can understand why someone like me loves trading in the stock market. Because if I take that same $100,000, I don't have a build out, I don't have marketing costs, I don't have to pay a partner, I don't have supplemental insurance. All I'm going to do in the stock market using the Wealthy Investor approach is produce a cash-on-cash rate of return sooner than the pizza shop and sooner than the dental practice. Why? If my first stock market strategy is covered call writing, anything that I bring in month 1 is guaranteed income. In other words, if I can put $100,000 in the market and engage in a residual income strategy like covered calls and earn $2,000 that month trading, what have I just generated? A rate of return, a cash-on-cash rate of return. Put up $100,000, I made $2,000. That is 2%. I have a 2% rate of return in the first 30 days on the $100,000 that I put up. Let's say I mixed volatility trading with covered call writing because I really have studied and I really sought that financial education. And in 30 days, I generate $5,000. Well, this is where I say it's going to be 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, or business school, depending upon where you went to school. Because if I get a $5,000 return on a $100,000 cash investment, I generated 5% return on my $100,000 in the first 30 days. Now, I just want to make sure that you get this. The question is, did I have to open up office space? No. Did I have to have a build out? No. Did I have to wait for equipment to arrive? No. Did I need a partner in that business? No. Did I need a phone number? No. I am engaged in producing a cash-on-cash return. My rate of return when I take in $5,000 is 5%. Now, let me ask you a question. What would happen if you knew how to produce consistently 2 to 5% on your money every single 30 days with 0 employees, 0 insurance, and 0 state licenses and taxes? Would you pursue that business knowing that the money that you generate can be put directly in your pocket? Are you starting to get the picture? That's what the Wealthy Investor Program is all about. It's a rate of return that's consistent on a monthly basis that puts cash in your pocket. Now, that should excite you. Why? Because instead of putting your money in mutual funds, where you get a 1 to 2% annual return, here, when we're talking about trading stocks in this style, we're talking about a 2 to 5% monthly return. So let me ask you a question. Would you rather have a 1 to 2% annual return or a 2 to 5% monthly return? Let's see. Should you go with choice A or should you go with choice B? If you understand that basic principle, now you understand what investing is all about. Some people invest in businesses, some people invest in the stock market because your startup costs are significantly less and you're producing a monthly rate of return with cash that you can put in your pocket, and you've created residual income for the rest of your life. That is powerful. So, why are some people going to other people to manage their money just to get a 1 to 2% return? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. But I will answer that question right after this break.
Want to increase your stock market trading profits? Then you need to start your monthly membership to WITradeschool.com right now. Don't understand how to write covered calls for monthly income? No problem. Simply review Tyrone's latest stock trades in our video library as many times as you need. WITradeschool.com is all about helping you get the financial education you need to earn money in the stock market and change your financial life. Tyrone Jackson, the wealthy investor, has helped his students earn thousands of dollars per month trading stocks online from home. These are people just like you. So what are you waiting for? Follow Tyrone Jackson's red-hot stock trades and investment strategies today. Don't wait. Start your monthly membership at WITradeschool.com right now.
And by the way, if you haven't downloaded my latest version of my free ebook on the Wealthy Investor website, please go there and do it now because we just updated it to reflect what's going on in the stock market right now. Now, right before the break, we were talking about this idea of return on investment and monthly rates of return. So why would someone who's educated, has a master's degree, has a fancy job, why would they go to someone else to actually manage their money and only get a 1% return? Well, I've talked about this on the show before. It's because a lot of really big companies spend hundreds of millions of dollars on commercials to convince you that you really don't know how to manage your money. So they say, take your funds and put them in this mutual fund. Or our company specializes in handling money for you. And because you're so busy, you don't want to have to handle your own money, right? And so they show you these wonderful commercials with dogs on the beach and couples snuggling up against each other happily because they have a safe and secure retirement. So think about this. If you have a safe and secure retirement and you're only getting 1 to 2% on your money annually, aren't you losing money? Isn't your money really underperforming? Great. That's why, more than anything else, you want to learn how to be what? A self-directed investor. See, your 1 to 2% annual return really isn't a 1 to 2% annual return. Why? Because there's a management fee. When you put money into a mutual fund, as soon as you put money into your mutual fund, did you know that there's something called a load? That is a fee that these companies charge you to put your money into the fund. If you ever decide you want to retrieve your money and pull it out, there's an exit fee. And if you do nothing at all, there's an annual maintenance fee. Now, that might not seem like a lot until you stop for a moment, get clarity about your finances, and realize that if you were handling your money on your own and investing most of it in the Dow Jones and S&P 500 stocks, you could make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So when you hear me talk to you all the time about getting a financial education, think of where you may have money invested right now and what is your annual rate of return and what is your monthly rate of return. So here's what I have discovered throughout all my years of stock market trading and all my years of helping people make thousands and thousands of dollars. Most people don't understand the idea of return on investment and monthly rate of return. Therefore, you just don't think about it. You block it out and you say, I'll let somebody else do it and I'll get this statement. Now, let's talk about this notion of 2 to 5% because I want you to have a shift in your consciousness because I believe money should be working for you. Your very first employee in your life should be your money, and it should be producing a cash-on-cash rate of return on a monthly basis. Now, I didn't always think this way because I was raised by a single mother who believed in just making it day to day to day, but I really wanted something different in my life. I really knew that rich people didn't live paycheck to paycheck, and why would I want to do that? So it occurred to me, I better understand how this money thing really works, not what the marketing and TV commercials are telling me, because I want financial freedom. And the key to financial freedom is an open mind and your desire. Let's talk about your desire just for a second. The things that you really, really wanted mostly in your life and that you put time and attention to, do you realize most of the time you will get the desired result? Most people never put enough time, attention, and focus on money. Therefore, their cup never overflows because they don't think it's important, or they're too busy, or they're just not good with math, or somebody else should handle it. All of these stories we tell ourselves to talk ourselves out of financial independence and wealth. Well, what I want you to think about, particularly in this episode, is what if you were able to get a financial education, understand return on investment and monthly rate of return. Next time you open your mutual fund statement or your retirement statement, you would be looking for an acceptable percentage. Well, let's call an acceptable percentage 2 to 5% per month. Right? So on $100,000 in the stock market, if you can make $2,000 to $5,000 per month guaranteed, would you be happy? Yes. If you could do that consistently, your only job is to then employ a wealth building strategy in the stock market so that you were managing $1 million. So that 2%, $20,000 a month, or 5%, $50,000 a month becomes your new norm. Rate of return and monthly rate of return is a key concept here. It's not that hard. You just have to think about math and numbers a little differently. So how would you know when it's time to retire if you had a secure retirement? You would look at the money that you have now, and you would look to see how much of a monthly rate of return that money is producing. So this is why a lot of people find themselves impoverished when it comes to retirement, is because they never planned for retirement and they never paid attention to a monthly rate of return. Retirement, it's something I'll get down the line, right? I don't really have to pay attention to that. I'm just too busy working right now. Stories we tell ourselves that don't help us live a better life in the future. So imagine if you had $100,000 in a retirement account and you can consistently produce $2,000 to $5,000 a month. Would that make your life comfortable? Now, of course, that depends on where you live. But what I have found is most people can't live off of $2,000 to $5,000 a month, especially if they're used to a middle-class lifestyle. So here's the question. What if it took you 2 to 5 years to get to $1 million? Could you then live off of 2 to 5% a month, $20,000 to $50,000 a month? Most people can live off of $20,000 to $50,000 a month, and that's what the Wealthy Investor approach represents. You handling your money so that you can get a monthly rate of return and live off the cash flow for the rest of your life. Because there's one thing that we do know. The government is not going to take care of you month after month after month. The second thing we do know, no matter who you are in your life, and if you're listening to the show right now, I am talking to you, I want you to know there's going to be a month or 2 or 3 where you're going to need money. And you're going to have to pay for something that is unexpected that you never saw coming. Well, guess what? If you learn the Wealthy Investor approach, you always have a residual income stream of funds. You have no employee, no licensing fees, and no rent. Just a smooth, predictable rate of return as a stock market trader. Now, here's the good news. If you can absorb just a little bit of this message today, your consciousness and your education are at work and your life is changing. The thing I love about helping people change their education and their consciousness is it's very hard to go back to your old beliefs. So join me in the world of wealth. Learn how to get that financial education and learn how to use covered calls specifically as an income generator, because you can trade and generate residual income for yourself and your family for the rest of your life. That is exciting, and that's really where you want to be. Today's show is all about return on investment, why people invest in businesses, and why it's to your advantage to invest in the stock market using covered calls as your primary approach. We know we will always need residual income, and there's always going to be some expected, and there will always be unexpected expenses you will never see coming. But now you know that there is a way to generate financial security for yourself and your family. It's time in your life to move forward, not backwards. Hey, I'm out of time for today. This is Tyrone Jackson, the Wealthy Investor, saying think about rate of return and monthly cash flow and how you can increase it in your life, because for you, financial freedom is just around the corner. See you next time.
You've been listening to the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast. Be sure to rate and review our show on iTunes. While you're on iTunes, be sure to click the subscribe button and you'll automatically receive our next episode.